Inside ankle bone high is a general term that helps us understand a lot of what's happening at the foot and ankle level, but there's a lot going on. So if you've just been introduced to inside ankle bone high, maybe you're trying to find out what it is, feel what it is. Today I'm going to talk about the common errors that I see when people are trying to find inside ankle bone high. The very first thing that happens when people say inside ankle bone high, they try to get it up, they will just allow their foot to roll to the outside and say, okay, now my inside ankle bone is high. I think that this is true, but there's more than that. That's only one part of three parts that's going on. The first part that's happening is, yes, that we're just slightly opening to the outside blade. So what some people call supination of the foot, but we don't want to just supinate. Some people find inside ankle bone high just by supination, and then they can expose themselves to a vulnerability of rolling the ankle to the outside. So how do we avoid just supinating? Because that's not true inside ankle bone high suppleness. Inside ankle bone high has more components like I talked about. It has what? Yes, the supination, but then it also has a primary loading on the front of the foot, so that ball of the foot. Notice what happens when I go supination here and my toes aren't on the ground, but then I just go to the ball of my foot, then immediately everything starts to collect underneath myself. So that's part two, is that it's on the ball of the foot. The third part that is probably one of the most important when we're really trying to find inside ankle bone high is remembering that this is connected to the back chain. So back chain is, we think about the hips mostly, but it's even back chain at the foot level, foot and ankle level, where I'm starting to create tension on the back underside of this foot. So those three parts create a general understanding of inside ankle bone high. Number one, getting to the outside blade. Some people call that supination. Number two is primary weight and pressure on the ball of the foot. We like to say under the fourth and fifth metatarsal, so right about here. But then the third one is connecting the back chain, which really is originated and generated from the hips, but not only located there. So boom, once I go there, then I have inside ankle bone high. So this inside ankle bone high setup is going to help you really feel this. We're in this 3-point tripod stance, whatever you want to call it, half kneeling. The first thing is I'm going to get to the blade of my foot. Then I'm going to get to the ball of my foot, make sure that all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my toes are going to be on the ground. I'm going to put light pressure on each one of my toes. Just light pressure on each one of my toes. There, then I'm going to pull into the back chain, like I'm pulling the ground with my foot. This is my inside ankle bone high. I see a nice arch right here. I got nice pressure. All 5 of my toes are all working on the ground, so my entire foot is working. Most of my pressure is on the front, and I feel my hip connected to the ground, connected to this inside ankle bone high. If I take this structure, I put some weight into it, and then I stand up, there's my inside ankle bone high. I'm gonna go inside ankle bone low on my right side so that you can see the difference between inside ankle bone high on the left versus inside ankle bone high on the right. A common way that I know that somebody isn't understanding inside ankle bone high is when they go inside ankle bone high, their kneecaps point out. Yes, we want to get on these inside ankle bones higher than the outside and on the outside blade, but then we connect back chain to that, and look at that, the kneecaps point straight, and I still have inside ankle bone high here. So we should be able to have inside ankle bones high, kneecaps pointing straight, with most of the weight on the balls of our feet. I know that most of the weight is on the balls of my feet because I can just come off of my heels at any moment here and feel the tension and pressure on my lateral calves and my glutes right here. This is my athletic stance. These are my feet ready to go, ready to load pressure, all right here. So again, those three things, outside, ball of the foot, back chain, we're kind of combining all of these three general terms so that you can understand how I can create inside ankle bone high, strong foot, so I can walk, run, play, move for the rest of my life, pain-free, and on a super solid foundation. This is Coach Bam. Stay inside ankle bone high. I'm out.